Welcome everyone to episode 144 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random, but sometimes guest-requested game. Well, this was kind of a collaboration of me telling Kevin this is what we want to play, so this is this is that. But we are talking about the Lamplighters League. And, well, Tom and Kevin, is this going to be worth our time? We're going to find out. And, like I was kind of alluding to here, we have a guest on the show today. Kevin from Save the Game Media is here. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here, ready to talk about the Lamplighters League, a game that was on my radar, but I kind of forgot about it until you were like, this is the one we're playing. And I was like, all right. I'm down for that. Let's give it a go.
That's right. This game was made by Harebrained Schemes, and it came out this month, October of 2023. I played this on the PC. It was 16.31 gigabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
That is very interesting. Very close. 16.8 gigabytes on the Xbox Series S.
Oh, okay. Kevin, where'd you play that on?
Yeah, I played it on the Xbox Series X.
Oh, there we go. We got all three ways to play. Well, almost. There is mobile too, but that's besides the point. But yes, cool. And was it like, I think it's probably about the same size. So
yeah, it should be the same as the Series S.
So cool. And what kind of game is this?
I have turn-based strategy, but maybe we have more colorful answers.
I put third-person tactical adventure game.
I would describe it as a tactical strategy game.
Yeah, it's all there somewhere. We'll just throw it out there. It's fine. But that game loop, how about that game loop? What do we got here, folks? Kevin, let's go with you.
Yeah, how about that game loop indeed? So, not quite what I expected diving in, to be honest with you. I thought it would immediately throw you into like a tactical combat, sort of like a Gears Tactics, XCOM, that style of game. So when you're like given full control to move around the environment, that threw me off for a loop. And then you only engage in turn-based combat in certain like scenarios.
Yeah.
And it was kind of off-putting. I'm gonna be not my favorite gameplay loop. They were going for here.
That's fair. What do you got, Tom?
I have battle-masked villains in turn-based combat to progress through levels and advance the plot.
Okay. I have navigate the missions by either sneaking, punching, or shooting your way through them. But yeah, it's Kevin, you have a point. The way that like the advertisements that I've seen, it definitely looked like an XCOM kind of game. But then yeah, as soon as you start it, you're moving around and like, wait, what's going on? Like there's no end your turn until you actually start turn-based combat. So that was definitely odd. But before we get into our odds, let's go talk about our likes here.
I thought you were going to say evens.
Me too.
I thought about it.
We're getting to our odds. Let's talk about our evens. I was like, I don't know what that means.
even likes. I don't know, but yeah, let's get into those, guys.
Well, I even liked the banter between the agents. And the light humor in general, I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, and unlike some games, which shall be not named right now, this the banter seemed to be not repetitive.
Yeah, I didn't hear like a loop of audio, so that's a good point.
Yeah.
Didn't even think to put that down as a like because I didn't notice it.
Yeah, and the voice acting I thought was fairly good for what it was. And I just love the thing that really grabbed me with this game is I loved how it looked. I think the overall theme of it, that kind of Indiana Jones mystery noir and adventure, like really got me excited for this game. And I like turn-based games, so that was one of the things that I was looking forward to. What are some things that you liked, Kevin?
I would say that Latif, the character, is a big like. He's funny. I thought he was pretty humorous the entire time I played the game. The setting, I really dig the vibe of this game. The timepiece that they're going for here, the whole aesthetic, really well done. Really put me in that like it's like a mobster story, kind of like an alternate history thing going on. So really like that, and I'm a team turn-based guy as well, so I was looking forward to getting in there for that.
Yeah. I thought also one of the things that was really cool, even before you start the game, the amount of options available to customize your experience, because there's there's an easy, hard, and all that stuff. But there's like an option there where it's like, okay, how do you want to deal with your combat? How do you want to deal with like story and stuff like that? And I was like, whoa, I was not expecting that many options for it, and I'm here for it because it allows you to play really any way you want, I guess. So
I appreciate when developers give you the tools to kind of enjoy the sandbox however you want to enjoy it. So
right.
Kudos on that. I have a couple of things that I definitely agree on the aesthetic. The whole pulp spy thing is really cool, very enjoyable. I liked the different agents and their specialities.
Yeah.
You know, like you have a sneaker, you have a bruiser, you have these different kind of classes of characters, and each of these has its own advantages and disadvantages. And so you're like layering that on top of having them grouped together or moving them around individually, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So there is tactical choice before you even enter the turn-based combat,
right?
Like you guys were talking about. So appreciate that while it does kind of throw you for a loop in that it's not just a turn-based strategy game from the jump, you are still making decisions and making choices even before you enter the tactical combat state.
Yeah.
So if we want to talk about that, that's actually, I don't know if we're into negatives, but I think that could be a negative as well. And I can hold off on why I think that until we get to the negatives.
Yeah, let's hold off that real quick. I also want to say, and they did it pretty early on, which is kind of cool. They showed that there is almost like a risk reward in terms of optional paths that you can follow in the game. So with that, you'll have some tougher battles and stuff like that. And when you do that, you get the option to get potentially good gear or stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. Just overall, like the way you can interact with the world was, I thought, pretty good. When I like that first level, like or first section, I thought it was like, oh, okay, you're just only hitting the guys, but it's like then you got more further into that particular, I guess you want to call it like the first tutorial mission, where there might be water that you can interact with and barrels and whatever it is to create traps or like take people out in that way. So that was kind of cool. I did appreciate that too. So
I liked the recon mode because I'm the kind of person that before I leave an area, I want to make sure that I got everything. So I liked that you can kind of pause the game and like mouse around, move the camera around and be like, oh, there's an item over there. Let me go grab that before I leave. It just feels good to me to know that I got everything before I exit. I also liked that the XP is shared across your characters, and so you as the player get to decide where that goes. So you generate a certain amount of experience or whatever as you progress, and then you divvy that up amongst your agents that you have. So you can dump it all into your favorite one if you want to, or spread it out more evenly. Up to you.
Yeah. I have a little tiff with that, but if we're ready to get into our dislikes,
sure,
we can hop on over there. Well, yeah, I didn't really like the shared thing because I was a little confused when I got into that interface, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Like, I was like going down my skill tree. I thought those points were for that particular character. So I was just like, I dumped a bunch of stuff into this one character. Like, oh my god, I wanted to put some stuff in, and then I must have breezed through some sort of tutorial or something, and that was my mistake.
No, I don't feel like the skill tree was particularly well explained for that experience sharing thing, because I threw everything into Ingrid, and then I went to level everyone else up, and I was like, where are their points? They did things last level, and then I had nothing, and I was like, oh, okay, so I guess I'm just going to rely on Ingrid. So that's not I'm never in favor of having a pool to share across characters personally. I think each character should have their own experience and be able to, because then it feels like And even if it's a different experience, like if you had told me Ingrid did more or less missions, so she's going to level up more, I'm completely fine with that. I would rather that than one pool for everyone.
Seems like Tom is the odd man out here because he likes to share.
It's okay. I always have experience share on in Pokemon, so.
That's fair. That's fair. I gotta say, as cool as this game looked, it did not look cool when the camera got stuck during combat. It was not cool. Like, especially when your character, when your character is doing their particular move, and there might be like in between some crates and stuff like that, the camera would literally just like be looking at the crate the entire time. So that was kind of frustrating.
I didn't have that experience. I do. I was pretty quiet during the positives. I do have quite a few negatives for this game. And while I didn't have your camera issue, I will say this game is incredibly poorly, super unoptimized. It runs incredibly poorly. Like it's so bad on the Xbox Series X. I had multiple crashes, like full blown. And then I was like, oh, I'm sure there's a checkpoint. Nope. Checkpoint system terrible. I had to redo multiple missions, and I was like, this is getting like because luckily it was like the first two where I had the crashes, because then after my hour and so I was like, okay, I played, but it was incredibly frustrating, and the load times are long. Especially for an optimized game. And it has this weird, I don't know how to describe it, almost a jittery look sometimes where I feel like the software itself is just struggling to run.
Wow, interesting. I mean, I know, Tom, you had an issue with load screens, but I didn't have any of those. Like that, again, the only thing that I had was the camera. That was the one weird thing that just kept happening.
I did not have any crashes. But I do agree on the loading screens. I found them obnoxious, and I found the cutscenes felt kind of lazy to me. A lot of it was just like some static image or something, and then they played audio over it. It just felt very lazy. And if you're going to have a lazy cutscene like that, use that to hide your load screen. Like, I don't know.
So you had that cutscene, and then it would start to load after.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. That is unfortunate.
It wouldn't be bad either if I found the story interesting. And it's such a shame because like I said, I think the time period is and the aesthetic really cool. The story, I was like, I am bored out of my mind.
Okay. I think I got a little they kind of find out about L. His name is L, right? Their handler. So you kind of meet the handler, and then like the story kind of opens up there, which I thought was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But what wasn't interesting was the fact that you can only carry one item per person. That was really frustrating. Like they have more than one pocket on them, I'm pretty sure. So why am I only allowed to carry one thing on them?
Well, it to be fair, it seems like you open up inventory slots as you advance your characters, upgrade them.
But I mean, that's like...
I'm with you, dude. I can't stand limited inventory, and I can't stand that it's not shared across the party. So we're sharing experience, but not a pocketbook.
Right.
Come on, pick it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't like Eddie as a character. Gameplay-wise, I think he is objectively... Like, I only used Eddie, Ingrid, and Latif.
Right.
I think out of those three, Eddie is by far the worst one.
He had the shot grenade and all that stuff.
His grenade is good. Like his ability is fine. I think all their abilities are fine. Outside of outside of the turn-based combat, all their abilities are useful and good.
Yeah.
Inside combat, he missed 90% of the shots. I'm like, you can shoot twice, and it's just miss. And I'm like, bro, I got Latif over here sniping people. You're literally point blank, and you're like, oh, I can't hit him. It was so frustrating.
Oh my gosh, I could see that being a problem. I didn't have, I had the opposite issue. Latif was missing, and Eddie was fine. Like I was like, I love the fact that he had two shots on his turn. It was great, but I guess results may vary for you folks.
Were you guys paying attention to the percent chance to hit?
Of course.
laid out for you? Okay.
Hey, that still doesn't help though. You could have 95%, but that 5%.
And I have.
Well,
I have.
RNG, right? That's the luck of the die.
You know who always hit though? Ingrid. Best character. Best character.
You just
because you put all your points in her.
That's true.
She was the best before that, let me tell you.
Yeah. While I did like the voice acting, the thing that bothered me a lot was the fact that their mouths didn't move.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I didn't really think about that.
Like the emote, they kind of emoted, and I get it. The camera for the most part is far enough that you can't really see their mouths move. But then every once in a while, when the camera does kind of move in, you know, you just see them kind of just stone faced and doing their thing. I was like, that's kind of odd. I don't know.
In terms of audio or video, or maybe a little bit of both, it bothered me that there were like the subtitles for the opening cinematic were those like subtitles where they tell you all of the sounds and stuff. Descriptive subtitles. I can't stand those. I turned them off as soon as I figured out how to turn them off. But that drives me crazy. Who is that for? It's not for me.
Yeah.
It's for deaf people so they can read scary music, and they're like, oh, I don't know what that sounds like, but thank you for telling. Like, I never heard scary music. So no, I get you. I'm bringing it back to one thing you said you liked was like the freedom to explore in the game. So that actually came back to haunt me in one of the missions, because there was a gate with a key that you needed a key to get into, but there was a thing that Latif could climb up, and I was like, no problem. I'll just go up, unlock the door for the homie, because in my mind, I was like, I only need the key to get in this side. I don't need the key to get in the other side. That's not true. So I climbed up with Latif. He got spotted, and then he's trapped in there with all the enemies, just getting beat. And I'm like, okay, I have to take my other two and somehow get all the way around. It was a battle I could not. Well, Latif died almost instantly. I was like, this messed me up. Because, I mean, I understand, not the game's fault that I thought the door worked a different way. But I'm just saying the ability to go off the beaten path and separate can be detrimental if you get overconfident.
I mean, I guess that's the way that they allow the freedom to do whatever you want. But the other thing that was annoying to me was, again, as you know, I thought the music was like fit the theme and all that stuff. The fact that there are certain sections where you can eavesdrop in conversations, but they didn't voice act that. It's just text that you read. I was kind of annoyed about that. Like they couldn't put the effort in to do that, voice act that, or whatever it is. But you know, I'm nitpicking here, but that was kind of it took me out of the experience. I'll say that much. But But any other dislikes here that you guys want to bring up?
I thought that moving characters around in the turn-based mode felt kind of clunky on the controller. It seems like it would have been better served definitely on a mouse and a keyboard. And I also thought another controller-based thing that bugged me, I thought it was weird that the confirm is the X button and not the A button. Like I kept hitting A to confirm things, but it was X. I don't know.
Oh wow! It's one of those games. Okay, that's
It's a press Y to jump.
It's a weird choice.
Why would you do that? Well, can you customize it though? Can you adjust the controllers?
Maybe you can. I'm not sure.
I didn't look.
It's possible. I mean, I played on mouse and keyboard, and it worked fine for me. So I'm happy with that. I mean, and that's another thing. Can you plug your mouse and keyboard and play this on your Xbox?
I could. Not going to.
How many people are going to do that? I don't know, but probably no one. But yeah. All right. Anything else we're gonna go, or should we go to our other notables?
Yes, I am ready to move on.
Right. So, at the time of me playing this game, How Long to Beat didn't have anything because I literally played it right when it came out. But now it does say that this game takes about 26 hours to complete. Pretty hefty game. Pretty hefty game. And Tom, you should know this game was made by the same developers as that Shadowrun game that we played earlier.
Yes.
And they've stepped up their graphics. I'll say that much. that was not a looker, but this one is pretty good looking for what it is. And this does have Xbox Cloud saves. It does work on mobile, but you do need a controller, obviously, for this kind of game. It makes sense. But Tom, any other thoughts here you had?
Well, I also noticed that it was made by the same people that made that Shadowrun trilogy that we previously played.
Yep.
Apparently, there are 10 playable characters, each with different abilities and powers and things. One of them is like a medic and can heal the other players, so that might come in handy. There's one that hypnotizes the enemy, presumably maybe Jedi mind trick style. I'm not really sure. Skills and perks can be added through the HQ with cards, and that's part of this mysterious deck that you've collected. And I have a special note here that this is clearly heavily inspired by the pulp magazines of the 1930s, which was how our ancestors entertained themselves before movies and television and all the phones in your pockets that we have today.
They sure did. But now we need to know if this game entertains us enough to keep going past that hour. So guys, are we keeping this on our respective hard drives, or are we throwing them away into that potential cavern that this is trying to get us into eventually? I don't know.
I'm going to let Kevin go first because I'm really curious what the answer might be.
So if anyone is watching the video, I may have noticed I grabbed my phone and I wanted to look. I played this game for 61 minutes, an hour and 1 minute, because that 1 minute was spent uninstalling this from my Xbox. I wanted to like this game. I think in a world where they get another year to develop it, it could have been something I enjoy. I just think there are technical issues that bring this experience down. I don't think the actual gameplay is as good as contemporaries in the genre. Like if I compare this to something like Gears Tactics, this falls very short of something like that. I just can't play it anymore. It is not a recommend for me.
All right, that's fair.
I will go next.
Yeah.
My hour went by very quickly. I did not have any crashes or any problems. And I didn't want to stop. I was in the middle of combat when my alarm went off that I had reached my hour. So I found it very engaging and fun to play, but I doubt very much that I will turn it back on again. And so this is just one of those things. Like, there's not really anything to bring me back to it. Like, I had fun with it for the hour that I played it, but I'm not all that interested in the plot to see where it continues to go. The combat, while engaging, like, there are better executions of this formula. So I haven't uninstalled it yet, but that doesn't mean that I won't soon. We'll see. We'll see how much space I have and how much I need it for other things.
I guess I'm the odd man out here because I actually enjoyed my time, and maybe because I was playing it on my PC. I don't know, because I didn't have the issues. I didn't have the loading problems. I didn't have any other than the camera. I was having a good old time with this game, and I'm curious to see where this goes. Because it seems like you're going on multiple missions, and the missions kind of branch out, so you have choices on where you want to go and stuff like that. So I'm excited to try that out, and so I am going to keep this game and give it a shot, give it an old college try, and see if I can finish it. So,
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. I think the publisher will appreciate that as well. I believe they announced this week that they're basically writing the development of this game off as a tax write-off because it's performing so poorly.
Oh my god!
So if people do want to support them, go for it.
I'm sorry, Paradox. I'm sorry, Harebrained, but I seem to like it. But those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter at TC1H1D. Shoot us an email at TC1H1D@outlook.com. Check out our streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D. And if you're watching this on YouTube, try to send us a comment down below. We'll try to respond to those as well. 1H1D is part of that QTP network. So if you like any other cool gaming content, check us all out. Check it all out at quitthebuild.com/network. Now, Kevin, thank you again so much for hopping on this episode. I'm sorry that we had to waste an hour of your time with this game, but
when I was sick too.
Sick. Oh my goodness. Well, we appreciate.
And tired of this game.
At least we didn't tell you to finish the game. You only had to play an hour, but we appreciate that, and we appreciate you coming on to the show. Please let everyone know where we can find you on the internet.
No, I appreciate you guys inviting me, and I was happy to play the hour, and I wouldn't have beat it, but I would have played more if you were like, we need 5 hours. I could give you that, but no, thank you again for the invite. If people want to come check out my stuff, Save the Game Media is the network where we have multiple podcasts. I host our Xbox podcast, which you've been on. Called Project X Talk, and Xbox podcast. We have a PlayStation show called No Limits. We have a movie and TV show called Frame by Frame. You can check all that out over on our YouTube channel, Save the Game Media, or go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Save the Game Media, and everything is there, like one RSS feed. You can get everything over there, and you can actually sign up to be a free member and like get some of those perks without the Patreon exclusive stuff. If you want to just have everything right there, we've opened that up. So appreciate anyone that comes in and checks out our stuff.
Nice. So yeah, like you mentioned, I've been on the show. It's good old time, and you guys go through a lot of Xbox content and topics, so that was fun to hop on with that. So this is great. So before we go, though, we do need to find out what we're playing next. Don't we?
There is the matter to be determined.
Indeed. So the surprise me button is going to tell us what we're doing next. So here we go. Oh God.
Oh no, it's something bad.
Lamplighter's League 2.
Oh, no, I would be great. That would be great. But no, unfortunately, it's October, so it's a spooky game. The Amnesia Collection.
Ooh. A collection of things Chris would like to forget.
Yes. Very quickly, I would say. So, yes, that is our next episode. So, tune in for that. But thank you so much for everyone for tuning into this one, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.